Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back if you are joining me again, and if you are new here, I am very happy to have you. My name is Drea, and today I am building a kind of different build. As you can see, it's pretty long because I'm doing a build request for a community lot for a nursing home. So I got this build request and I knew I wanted to do it. The only thing is that I do not build community lots that often. This was definitely a challenge. Like you can see, this build is huge. I actually ended up getting rid of this side piece on the right, but it still is a huge build. So I am ready to talk for 47 minutes and I hope you're ready to listen for 47 minutes. But yeah, this build ends up being 9 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms. Each of the bedrooms has its own ensuite, and then there are 2 like public restrooms for like visitors or the director of the nursing home. They can use those restrooms. I also include a karaoke room on the second floor, as well as like a TV room on the first floor, a cafeteria. There's a lot of stuff for your elder sims to do. I also, in the back, I put a pool because me and pools, we have been best friends. And I put a pool, I put some dining tables, I put a little gardening area, and I put a basketball court, which I don't know if elder sims can play basketball without like dying of overexertion, but they definitely I figured, if they're not the ones playing, maybe they're watching, like their relatives come to play, or maybe they play themselves. If they're like super active, that might be what they choose to do in their free time. But I did end up working on the exterior, and then I go inside, do the interior, then do the landscaping, because that's how I always do it. It looks like I'm going to start doing the landscaping here, but I decided against it. I put flower boxes down instead because I didn't like how these bushes looked. I couldn't get them to work in this little corner, and I just was like, oh, we're going to do flower boxes. But as far as this being like a pretty long build, this is the one that I have been working up to. My last 2 builds were, shorter, and now I was like, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and sit down and do the longest build I've done so far. This is so far because I am working on a build for my save file, my personal save file, and it's for the Fires family, and it is enormous. It's, the Fires family live on that 64 by 64 lot, and I've been, building there, and that house has taken me, this took me like maybe an hour and 20 minutes. That house has taken me so far an hour and 40 minutes. So it's a pretty big build, and this one, I guess, was getting me ready for that one. But I do not have a lot of experience with nursing homes. My grandmother, until she passed, lived in her house, and the only person who I visited in a nursing home was my husband's grandmother. So I really don't know if this is realistic to a nursing home. I kind of based it off of this picture I found on Pinterest for a nursing home in Florida, I believe. And it's yellow like this one is. This one does end up being yellow because I wanted it to feel like bright and happy and not, dour, even though the interior is a little dark. The walls are gray and things of that nature. But that is because I, for a split second, was going to work in an assisted living facility, and all of the walls in that, well, first of all, that building was a maze. Walking around that building was very stressful because I did not know where I was 90% of the time. But second of all, they had the walls were all brown, and I made the walls gray in here, and they kind of, it works, but not, it's it is a little dark, a little dour, but I think the exterior makes up for how dark it is on the interior. But you can let me know your thoughts. As far as the sims that live here, the elder sims, I think that the first floor is for people who are just moving in. They don't really have a lot of furniture, they don't have a lot of stuff that they're bringing. This is their first time in assisted living. And then the people on the second floor have been here for quite some time, and as we get to their rooms, I'll tell you about some of the people that I figured lived here. Some of them have names that my husband and I came up with, some of them do not. But yeah, the ones on the second floor definitely, like, they know their way around, they know what they're doing, they know, everyone who is here, they've known them for a long time. That's kind of how it works in my husband's grandmother's assisted living facility. She is on the first floor, like right by the door, and she's only been there for a short amount of time, but everyone, it seems like, who's on the upper levels have been there for quite some time. They've been there for a long, long time. But yeah, I think that this build looks pretty good. I like I said, I don't build a lot of community lots, and I struggled really badly with the elevator in this build. I tried to put an elevator, and it crashed my game. I know that when you put in 2 elevators in a build, it will crash your game, and I did not heed that advice when I first started building. So when it started crashing my game, I was like, oh no, I have to take the elevators out. So I did make like a fake elevator with I made a fake elevator with the sliding doors from Snowy Escape and like a couple little like base game arrows, and that is how I made my elevator look natural. But obviously it's not like perfect. It does not look exactly like an elevator would, but hopefully you'll get the gist when you see it. But yeah, I tried to put that elevator in that back corner, and I had 2 elevators for a short period of time, and here I go putting the elevator down, and it ruined my game. And I kind of miss the Sims Classic, where you could have elevators. They had like this weird kind of funky futuristic elevator. I don't know if you remember the Sims Classic. I played the Sims Classic before I played any other Sims game, obviously. But I played the Sims Classic for quite some time, and I remember there being this like circular elevator that like you could use, and you could like put it on multiple floors, and like it kind of worked. Like, I don't know if it was like manual, if that was supposed to be the gist, like it was supposed to be a manual elevator, but it definitely was weird, and I used it in almost every build I did in the Sims Classic, which is a hard task because the Sims Classic building in the Sims Classic is like trying to pull teeth. It is nearly impossible to build in the Sims Classic. That's the one thing I'm very glad about the Sims 4, is that it's a lot easier to build, because like I said, trying to build in like the Sims class, even in the Sims 3, trying to build was really hard. I don't think I built too much, and I focused more on gameplay when I played the Sims 3. But yeah, building in the Sims Classic, oh my god. I do a bit of gameplay in The Sims 3, or in The Sims 4. I did mainly gameplay in The Sims 3, but in The Sims 4 I do a bit of gameplay. Like I said, I'm building my own save, and that obviously requires some gameplay to get it set up. But I use, like MC Command Center for jobs and money and things of that nature. I do have like I said, I'm building for the Fires family, so that build will be going up sometime soon. And I really like how that build's looking. In Windenburg, that came with Get Together, there's a lot of like black colored houses. Like the siding is like typically very black, and I went with blue for the Fires house, and I think that looks really good. Like I use the same like Windenburg siding, but I put it in a blue swatch, and I really like how it looks. But it like I said, it is also another huge build that's going to take me quite some time. I might do music over that one, just because of how big it is and how long it's going to have to be 2 videos because of how long it is. You'll have to excuse my voice. I just woke up, but I needed, I was like, I need to get this done because I am visiting my mom here soon. I'm going back east to visit my mother, and she does not have a computer, and I cannot film on my laptop, my little dinky Chromebook. So I was like, I need to get some videos done, so that way I kind of have a backlog. I think this would be like my 4th video that I have on backlog, just so that way I'm not, out there like, oh no, I'm not, I'm not filming, I'm not doing anything. But I really think that like having a lot of videos done is like a good thing just for me personally. If you don't like to pre-record, you want to do it in the moment, then that's perfectly fine. But like for me, I think it's a good thing just because I'm able to like just build. I'm able to just build and go and go and go and go, and then whenever I'm done and ready, I can just edit and post it. So, or edit and schedule it. I don't have to post it right away. But these two rooms on the back right end up becoming rooms that are not bedrooms. Originally, you can see I made them be bedrooms, but I was like, oh my goodness, I was so done with decorating bedrooms at the time. So I made one of them into a public bathroom and one of them into the office for the director of the nursing home. And that, though, yeah, like I said, those two rooms, I had done so many rooms, and I believe I cut out some of the furnishing of these bedrooms because they all look pretty similar. Some of them are a little different, but it took so long, and I was like, this video is long enough. It does not need to be that egregiously long. So yeah, some of the bedrooms get cut out. I think I cut out furnishing these two of those three bedrooms down there just because, they all look pretty much the same. I put these little rounded corner pieces down and they end up becoming square. I still have no idea how that happened. When I watched this back, I was like, I just touched them and they became square? That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I apparently touched those pieces and they became square again. Not quite sure how, not quite sure why. Also, this computer disappears. When I am putting down, I believe, wallpaper, the computer just disappears. So there are a couple mistakes in this build that you will, you might notice. You might not have noticed if I didn't point it out, but I just noticed them when I'm watching things back, and I'm like, great. But I was talking to my brother the other day, and he was like, oh, I completely forgot that we used to, play The Sims together. And I'm like, no, we played The Sims all the time together. Like, he did not play The Sims Classic. He was too young for The Sims Classic, but he played The Sims 4 with me, and I really had fun playing with him just because he was so silly with how he played. He would sit there and he'd make his Sims look exactly like our middle brother, and then he'd name them our middle brother's name, and then he'd just give him a life. And I'm like, why do you need to make him? He's like, because I have to make it perfect. And I would make our family a lot, my brothers and my dad and my mom, but he would just make our middle brother and be like, okay. That's it. But yeah, he and when we got the pack that came with Henford on Bagley, Cottage Living, he was so disappointed that there were not horses. That was the main reason he wanted that pack, was because he thought horses would come with it. And then Horse Ranch came out, and he was a little miffed that it didn't come with Cottage Living. I think that is a big downfall of The Sims, is that they will release something and you're like, oh, this is gonna be this, and it's not. It's not at all that. When we got what pack was it that we thought Aliens were gonna come with, but Aliens had already come out? Strangerville. We thought that Aliens were gonna come with Strangerville, and we were like, but we already have Aliens. Why would you? And then they had the plant thing. I still don't understand the plant thing. I don't play Strangerville. I've never played that storyline. I've never gone and solved the Strangerville mystery. I just have no desire. And I think when it first came out, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, but it's just not. Like I said, I have no desire to play it. I have no desire to solve the mystery. I know what the mystery is because I've seen other people do gameplay on it, but I just don't have the urge to play it. And so when we thought, oh, Aliens again, why are we getting Aliens again? It's The Sims falls into this trap of we think we're gonna get something and then it doesn't happen. Parenthood was a bit of a letdown because we thought it was gonna be Generations, and that was not what it was. And then with San Myshuno, when we got City Living, I was like, oh, we're gonna get apartments, and we did get apartments, but we did not get apartments that we could rent, and that is sad because I build a lot of apartments and I enjoy building apartments. I have built many apartment complexes, and it took us getting for rent to be able to build, to be able to actually make apartments and have multiple families live on one lot, which that is something that I appreciate, having multiple families live on one lot, because I don't know if that's in any other iteration of The Sims. cannot remember. But I like I said in my last video, I really want for rent. I really want to build some apartments. I might build apartments anyway, and then just not have for rent. There's nothing saying I can't just build, like I said, I can't just build apartments and use, and not use for rent to build them. But I want to play with for rent. I don't know if I want to build so much with for rent. I just want to play with having multiple families on one lot and having, like, being able to build apartment buildings and hotels and such. I don't think I've watched any content on for rent. I have watched a couple people build on for rent, but I have not watched any like gameplay on it, so I'm not entirely sure what to expect. And please don't spoil me. I want to, experience it when I do get it. I want to experience like what it's actually like for the first time. But yeah, there's that elevator that was giving me so much trouble, and it crashed my game, and I lost like 20-30 minutes of content. So I just had to get rid of both of those elevators. I was like, nope, we're not gonna do this again. But yeah, this is the cafeteria space, and right next to it on this opposite side is where the kitchen goes. I don't know how you would operate this build. Because, like, you could operate it as residential or just like a generic lot, I guess. But, like, I don't know how you'd operate it. But maybe it's just for gameplay. You just want to take pictures here, and that's perfectly fine. I do that sometimes where I will build what I call sets, and I will just plot my Sims in them for like 2 minutes and be like, okay, we need to take pictures, and then I just take them out. So, like, if you want to do that, I totally get you. I completely understand, and I do that all the time. This cafeteria for this many Sims is probably a bit big because, like I said, there's only 9 bedrooms, so I don't know if there's that many Sims there. But I mean, you could like have your staff sit in the cafeteria, or have, like the director come down and like do like events or something in the cafeteria, like poker or bingo or something. Speaking of poker, my husband is a poker dealer, and he is also a poker player. He told me the other day that like some of these like poker people that he plays with or that he deals to are like, they're unreal. Like, some of them will roll up in like Porsches, and he's like, how do you do like, he's like, how do you live this life? And I like, well, we live really close to his job, so like I'll like walk down there sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, this is wild. Like, I'll be like walking in, and I'll just see like someone who he watches on YouTube just walk out, and I'm like, whoa. It's wild when you like know of these people, like having this like parasocial relationship where you know of these people and they have no clue who you are. Because like my husband watches these people all the time, and then we see them in real life, and you're like, you are the person, you're the person that is on my TV all the time, and they're like, I don't know who you are. It's definitely strange having that kind of relationship, but like I guess that's how like most that's how most parasocial relationships work. You don't know that person, but you think you do. And it's odd because I have like recently, I've been kind of telling myself like I'm trying to get away from doing that. I'm trying to get away from having these parasocial relationships with like celebrities and people I don't know, because it's not a, I wouldn't say it's not a good thing. Like, you can have parasocial relationships, but like for me it wasn't a good thing because unfortunately some of the people that I had these relationships with were not good people, and I am sick and tired of people not being good people. Not to say that I'm like a perfect person. I am not a perfect person. We all make mistakes, but like some are mistakes that we don't, like some are mistakes that we cannot not forgive. Some of them are just, we can't get past them, and that's fine. If you think like, oh, I can't forgive you for something that you've done, that is perfectly fine, but you also can't like be upset with other people for forgiving someone. Like, it's weird. Like, having these relationships is very strange because like, a lot of people will like villainize you if you have this like idea about someone, and then like it turns out to be wrong or it turns out to be right. You know, some people will like villainize you for that. It's just, yeah, I'm trying to get away from having parasocial bonds, but you know, it's something as humans that we all have. But anyway, this is the TV room that I was talking about, and it's pretty, you know, like I think it works for the actual like build itself. As far as like the residents that live on the top floor, if this were the case, they'd probably have a TV room on their floor as well, but they have the karaoke room upstairs, so who's really better off? But decorating this room was like so hard. Decorating all of these rooms was pretty hard because, like I said, I don't do community lots often, and it's strange. I don't know why I wanted to do these checkered floors like everywhere in like all the bathrooms. And then this is the employee break room. I don't know why I wanted to do these checkered floors everywhere, but I was going with it and I really liked it. So we did checkered floors everywhere. And then all the bathrooms on the second floor have these checkered floors as well. So I think that is pretty realistic to like the nursing homes that I have seen, like the ones I've been in, because they're very like, I am so sorry, my cat is going insane in the background. They're very like, they're very old. Most of the nursing homes I've seen and been in, like they definitely have like very old fixtures and old like flooring and things of that nature. Like that one that I was in that was like a maze was pretty old. But I guess that fits, you know, with the type of people that are in there. You want it to be, you know, as comfortable for them as possible. So this employee break room is just, you know, it's just pretty standard to have like, you know, a couple fridges, a couple like microwaves for your employees, you know, assuming that you have, you know, employees that work here. You know, I once again, don't know how you'd pull that off, but if you have better gameplay ideas than I do, then I hope that you can enjoy, you know, this build. I don't think I'd use this in my like gameplay. Just like once again, I don't know how to make it work, but like I also think that like it works for a set. Like I said, I love building sets. I build a lot of sets for Luna Villarreal. Um, I have this love for Luna Villarreal. I love the Villarreal family as a whole, but Luna Villarreal is my favorite. And every time I go into a new save file, I'm like, okay, make over Luna Villarreal and put her with Cassandra Goth. And I don't know why I do that, but I think they're so cute together. I love Luna Villarreal and Cassandra Goth, but I saw this TikTok last night that was Morgan Fires and Cassandra Goth, and I was like, okay, I can get behind this. You know, I'm not gonna just be like, no, you're wrong because it's not my, you know, it's not my ship. I thought it was cute. But I play with townies a lot more than I play with my own Sims. I love townies. I play with the Goth family all the time. I play with the Villarreal family all the time. I play with the Fires family all the time. I love my townies. And, you know, it's definitely like, I think it's just because I don't like making Sims that much. I was going to try out a new like kind of Sims type game with their like character creator, but it was off Steam by the time I went to try it out, so I could not try it. But I really did want to try. Like I wanted to see what it was about because when The Sims 4 came out, I remember we were like obsessed with how like realistic it looked, and this one apparently looks like 10 times more realistic. So I just wanted to try it, and then I couldn't. But either way, we are into the downstairs bedrooms, and these are, like I said, these are for like people who are just moving in. They don't really have their own furniture. They don't really have, you know, a lot of stuff yet. So these are, you know, just, hey, if you need a room and you don't have a lot of, you know, things, then you can go ahead and move in here. And I put a kitchen in almost every single one of, almost every single one of these rooms. Some of them have microwaves, some of them don't. Most of them have sinks, some of them don't. It just depends on which room you get for space concerns, excuse me. But some of these rooms, you know, get bigger. Some of them are a little bit smaller. I think the 2 rooms right above these rooms are pretty big, so I guess I didn't cut out furnishing these. I might have cut out doing like the bathrooms and the kitchens, but I do put the kitchen. I use like the base game cabinets that I've been using all over this build. I use them in a different color though. I think they're in brown when we're in here. But yeah, the rooms right above this, my husband came up with two people who live in them. It is Judy and Anthony. And Judy is like, she's been here for a little bit. She, knows her way around. She knows pretty much everybody. And she has never been married. She's never been married. She doesn't have any kids. It's just not the life that she wanted. And she's kind of like, she's a queen. She knows that her life, she's happy with the life that she made. She's happy with where she is. And the point of people being like, oh, well, don't you regret? No, she has no regrets. And then there's Anthony, and I made Anthony kind of like an ex-military guy, and he's got like, the military posters from Strangerville on his walls. But Judy, like I said, he really likes Judy. And she's never been married, and she doesn't want to be married. So she's kind of like, I don't know about that. But he really likes her. He thinks that like he's been trying to like win her over the entire time that he's been here. And she's like, well, I think she thinks he's cute, but I don't think that she's like super, she's like super like, oh yeah, let's, be together. I don't think that's her vibe. She's very, like I said, she's very independent. So I don't think that's her vibe at all. So here's me making those, like elevators, quote unquote. And they, like I said, they are not functional, but they look the part. I did not put anything inside of them. I did not think to do that. I probably should have. But yeah, this back room right here is Judy's room, the one that I am about to head into and do once I get the hallway done. It is very pink because I imagine she really likes pink, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love the color pink. I used to not like the color pink when I was younger, and I think a lot of girls fall into that like trap. Or not trap, they fall into that like category where they're like, oh, I don't want to be, super girly, and then as they become adults, they're like, no, I love it. I love the color pink. And I do. I love the color pink. My mom had her hair dyed pink for a little bit, and I wish that I could dye my hair pink. Like, I don't think I ever would. I might get like a pink wig, but I don't think I'd ever dye my hair pink. But yeah, this is Judy's room, and like I said, very pink, very girly. She is very much, she knows who she is. I don't know why I pulled the bed away from the wall and put the two nightstands down, like, since she's only by herself, but who knows. But yeah, this build it's interesting because I wanted to personalize some of the rooms, and then I got to a point where I was like, okay, I got very tired. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I do not get tired doing these. Some of these I have to split up over multiple days, multiple episodes of building, because sometimes I will be building in The Sims and I'm like, okay, this is enough. I'm done. Like, I get to a point where I'm like, okay, I have done way too much. I cannot keep going. I cannot keep going at this rate. Like, the big thing for me is that like my eyes get really tired, and maybe I need like blue light glasses. I have like my regular glasses, but maybe I need blue light when I'm working on the computer, because it takes a lot out of me sometimes to sit and build for hours on end. I used to, when I was in high school, I could chug out some builds. I had like quite a few, before I changed my EA ID, I had quite a few followers on the Sims 4 gallery. That's a very humble brag. I had a lot of followers on the Sims 4 gallery, but I did. I had quite a few followers on the Sims 4 gallery, and I built a lot. But now that I am older, it is a lot harder to do that. Like, I get tired very easily. My eyes get really blurry, and so I'll have to like take a break. But this is Judy's ensuite, and then we'll move into Anthony's room, which is right next door, and then we do the karaoke room. And the karaoke room, I wanted to put a bar in there, but I could not get it to work. I could not figure out how I wanted to lay that karaoke room out. I think I might have got the bar like in the corner, but it took a long time to figure that room out. But yeah, this is Anthony's room. I think Anthony had a wife and she tragically passed, and now it's just him. And I don't know if he has kids, but he loves Judy. He thinks she's just the coolest. He thinks she's the bee's knees. We think that Judy's probably in like her late 60s, early 70s. Anthony's in his late 70s, early 80s. So like they're a little bit age gapped, but I mean, my husband and I are a little bit age gapped, so doesn't matter that much. But yeah, I used this bed like everywhere because I just think it looks very traditional, so like a lot of old people would have it, but like I also think that maybe this bed came with like the second floor. This was the bed that was up there. So like if you moved in, this was just the bed you had to work with. So adding the mini fridge, I feel like that might be like a question that might come up, is why there's mini fridges and not full-size fridges. My husband's grandmother, she has a full-size fridge, but she cannot reach the freezer because it's too high up. She can't reach that high. And so I was like, when I was building this, I was like thinking, oh, well, what would be like a better way to make this more functional? And I was like, oh, we'll just use a mini fridge. And so the mini fridges are what end up in these rooms. And I mean, a lot of the folks' homes I've been in do not have ovens in their rooms. So I thought that that was pretty on par for there to be just, a mini fridge and like a sink, because that's pretty much what my husband's grandmother has. So I didn't think, that it was that big of a deal. But this is going to be the karaoke room, and you see I put it down, and instantly I'm like trying to put a bar down and I don't know where to put it. And I was talking to my husband while doing this, and I was like, oh yeah, I mean, they're old, they're elderly people, they can have a drink, there's nothing wrong with them having a drink. I think the bar does end up in the corner. I'm pretty sure it ends up in this corner where the window is, because I wanted to put tables down and this whole thing was was not working. But yeah, so like I said, I'm going back east to visit my mom and my niece and my brother, my older brother, and I am very excited. The last time I went back east was for his wedding, and that was quite some time ago. I don't remember how long ago it was. Multiple years, because they had the baby, and then they're military, so they were stationed overseas for a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited to go back east. I'm excited to visit my family, see my niece. She is 2 and she's adorable. Like we have my niece on my side, and then on my husband's side, he has 2 nieces and a nephew. And they're all so cute. And it makes me think like, oh, well, maybe I want kids, but I think I'm like Judy. I don't want kids. It's just me. It's me and my husband, and I'm good. Like we have the cat, and she's perfect. She's perfect. She's a menace, but that's my baby. So, but yeah, we are moving into some of the other bedrooms. And like I said, I cut out furnishing a couple of them because I just was getting very tired of furnishing bedrooms. And then I took out these lights in the hallway. I don't know why I did that. And then I put them right back. So I don't know what I was doing, taking these lights out. I was like, oh, this hallway's really dark. And then I was like, yeah, because she took the lights out. But this bedroom, I believe, is the green bedroom. And I don't know I don't know the name of the person that lives here, but I definitely think they're very like earthy, and maybe they were like a hippie, when they were younger. They're kind of like a hippie vibe because they've got a lot of greens and like yellows and just brighter colors in here. So maybe their whole thing was like, oh, peace and love, that whole. And I think this is a single person that lives in this room. But I have been called a hippie quite a few times, and I appreciate it. I don't mind, like when people call me like, oh, you're a hippie, you're a tree hugger, things of that nature. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You're allowed to think that. I don't care. But I feel like back in her day, being called a hippie, it was like, ooh, that's, you don't want to be called a hippie. That's a terrible thing. And I don't think she ever really cared. She was definitely like, okay. She was like me. She was like, okay, if you think I'm a hippie, then whatever. But yeah, this is where the kitchen started getting smaller because I just could not make the big kitchens that I had put in Anthony and Judy's rooms work. But that's all right, because they have their bare minimum, and they've got their sink in the bathroom if they need to wash something, or worst comes to worst, they can have like the staff wash it for them. I don't think that'd be that big of a deal. But yeah, we are coming up on the end. This has been a long time talking. It's odd, like having to listen to your own voice for this long, because I think for me, like I don't I talk a lot. Like I'm a certified yapper, but when I do talk, it is mainly for doing this. Like I don't really talk that much outside of recording, which I think is a little. It's interesting just to hear my own voice for that long. But I think for my, like I said, the Fires family, I might do some music. It depends on how long the builds end up being, because if they are also, like if they're also almost an hour, then I might have to talk for the whole thing, because I don't think I can play that much music for that long for a build. But yeah, like I said, this room, she's kind of a hippie, and then the room across the way, I am not entirely sure what I did over here. Let's take a look. I think this room is the one of the blue rooms. I'm pretty sure this one's blue. But yeah, like I said, these back two rooms, they changed, so we only have the other 3 bedrooms, and I cut out 2 of them. So we will see what this other room is. It's interesting that like I forget what I did, because I've been doing this, like I said, over the course of quite some time. So I really don't remember what everything is in these. Like I said, yeah, I think this is the blue room. Yeah, this is the blue room. This room is a little funky because of just how it's shaped. Like, since it's so long, it was kind of hard to make things work in here. Like, I think I get a kitchen, like partial kitchen in here. But yeah, that's why I cut out these next 2 rooms, because they were also very funky and hard to make work. These paintings from Get Together, I use them all over this build. I mean, because, they're like they're like older paintings, so it makes sense for, older people to have them. But I also used those like portrait paintings that came with base game downstairs. I don't know who those people are to this building, but maybe they, were the founders of this building. Maybe their parents were the original people who were in this building, but yeah, I built this on Twin Oracle Point in Newcrest. I always build in Newcrest. I mentioned that last time because Newcrest is just, it's blank, and I like building where there's nothing else around me. I like when I can just build and not worry about, like, oh, does this fit with the neighborhood? Does this fit with the, like, Willow Creek is awesome, but it is so hard to work with just because it is hard to, like, make things fit with it. But I also think I don't really build in like the Louisiana style too much. I need to start practicing, but yeah. Either way, I really like all these bedrooms. I really like, I like Judy and Anthony, and then I don't know who lives in this blue room. I'm assuming it's another single lady, but maybe it's another single lady, and then the other 2 rooms are men. I watched this TikTok the other night. I guess it's not a single lady. I guess it's 2 people. I watched this TikTok the other night where this lady was moving her grandfather into an assisted living facility, and he was like, I was talking to the nurse, and she was like, oh, there's only 4 guys on this floor and the rest of it's women. And I was like, score. I was like, that's so funny. That's like so cute. Old people are great. I really appreciate having my grandmother as long as I did, and then having my husband's grandmother. I really appreciate having them, in my life. But this is the director's office, and this was, like, you can see it was originally a bedroom, and then I was, like, tired of doing bedrooms, so I was like, nope, this is the director's office now. I don't know why the director's office would be on the 2nd floor, but the nursing home that I was going to work at, it was kind of like this. I don't even know where the director was in that building, because it was a maze getting around that building. But yeah, I put some file cabinets in here, and the desks and bookcases. I imagine that like all those bookcases have like files on the residents, so it's not just like, random books that this director has in their office. But we are getting ready to move outside, and in the outside, like I said, I do a lot of like activities for the elder sims, and if your elder sims are very active, then maybe they can play basketball. But once again, I don't know if that is exactly realistic to, this type of build. But yeah, across the way we finish doing the interior, and this is just another, bathroom. It's another like public bathroom, so I have to do the checkered floors, of course, because the checkered floors are all over the place in this build. And then we move outside and we do all those activities. And I talked about how I do a lot of pools recently. In my last two builds, I did not do pools, and I was very proud of myself because I was like, I need to get away from doing pools for a little bit, and I did not do them. And I think the build still ended up looking really good. I did a hot tub actually in that build, and I don't do hot tubs a lot, even though I love hot tubs. Like in real life, I really like hot tubs. When my husband and I book Airbnbs, we're like, okay, nope, we got to find one with a hot tub because we just love them that much. But yeah, I have actually today, when I'm filming this, I have a job interview at noon, which is funny because I post my videos at noon, but this one's not going up today. So I have to get ready for that here soon. And then I realized the windows on this back wall were not matching up and it was making me irritated, so I got rid of them. But yeah, I will have to get ready for my job interview soon, but either way, this has been a long time talking, and I am not sure if I can do this again, honestly. Being completely honest with you, I'm not a professional at this, so if this felt rambly or off, then I am so sorry, but like, I'm not a professional at talking. I call myself a professional yapper, but I'm very good at like just rambling. I'm not good at like talking about things on topic. So yeah, if this kind of went off the rails, very sorry about that. But this front part, I did decide to put like a van. I probably should have used the live edit objects, but I completely forgot that existed. And I put this van out here, and I figured that maybe that's like how they transport their residents around if they need to go somewhere. And then I put down some bikes, and I'm like, old people can ride bikes. We have, in my save file, there's this older guy, and he rides a bike like everywhere. So I was like, they can ride bikes. Maybe they have some bikes out front if they want to, like go around Newcrest or around the neighborhood. But yeah, we are moving on to the back of this build where the pool and the dining tables and the gardening section are. And it really did not take me too long to figure out I wanted a pool here, just because, even though I don't think that there are many pools in like assisted living facilities, I was like, this one's like a nice assisted living facility. Like this one's a nice one. So it needs a pool, it needs like a little gardening section, all that fun stuff. And I was trying my hardest to figure out where the pool was going to go. And I like put down all these tiles, and and I was like, this isn't working. So I like changed it. So I think it ends up moving a little bit further back than where it is right now. Yeah, it moves a little further back, and then the gardening section goes over there. But yeah, we are near about done with this build. This build is on the gallery under the hashtag DriaSimming. It is in my old EA ID, but that is me. So if you would like to download it, then go ahead and do so using that hashtag. And I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you enjoyed this like longer video, this longer build, because I enjoyed making it. Talking about it was hard, but building it was a lot of fun. And being able to like think, what would Elder Sims like? What would they dislike? It's always fun to do things for like specific age groups, because the next build request I have is for an orphanage. And I don't know how I'm going to make that work, but I'm excited to try. So I might do it more industrial. Honestly, I might build it in San Myshuno, like in the where the old stone mill. Oh my goodness. Is that what it's called? That like the stone building, you know what I'm talking about? Like residential stone building in San Myshuno. I might build it there just because I think it would look pretty good there. But yeah, here are these little dining tables like I mentioned, and then we put the gardening section down right here, right next to like the porch, and then I add, a couple more trees and the basketball hoops, and that's about it for this build. The screenshots are quite long, and that makes sense because this is a pretty big build. There's quite a few screenshots for you to look at. But if you want to use this build in your gameplay, please post pictures on like Instagram and tag me in them. My Instagram is @DriaSimming. So if you use this build, please let me know. I'd love to see how it looks in your game. If you like take screenshots with it or actually do gameplay, or you make like a video with, oh my gosh, that'd be so awesome. I'd love to see, like what you do with it. But either way, I am near about done talking. I'm gonna go drink a gallon of water and get ready for my interview. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, I would love if you would do that. And next time we are building, will probably be a smaller build again. I'm not sure what the next build is going to be, but it'll probably be another smaller build, just so that way I'm not posting, this video and then the Fire's house like back to back. I think I have another smaller build. If I don't, I'll figure one out. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna leave you with just like a little bit of music here at the end, just to kind of give my voice a rest. But like I said, this is Drea Simming on the Sims 4 Gallery, and that is my YouTube as well as Drea Simming. So that's my YouTube, obviously. That's my Instagram as well. So if you want to give me a follow over on Instagram, yeah, it's just Drea Simming, and my YouTube is also Drea Simming. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good day, night, wherever you are, and bye.